For us not to drop our heads, that I would be very upset if we thought of ourselves as anything less than, than a capable Final Four team. And we need to know that. We need to change some things that we wanted to address. A couple things that, if we could live it over, that we would do, because with a game like then, it comes down to a foul shot, a decision that's made, a rebound. It comes down to those things. I mean, but I was extremely proud of the Warrior mentality. I thought that they demonstrated in the image of what the true Scarlet Knights have always been about. We don't know how to quit, and we're not going to quit. And hopefully, the people that came were excited, because both of us like to run. I mean, and that was beautiful. So we're both playing tough, hard-nosed defense as well. So I just don't want our team to drop our head and feel anything less than we can play with these guys. And I have a feeling that we'll see North Carolina again. That's how that goes. But I do know that, and I think that they know, and what's most important is that we can play with anybody.
Coach Hatchell was actually just saying she felt like you guys, there were two top 5 teams on the floor. You guys were worthy of a top 10 spot at least. How do you feel about where you guys stand after tonight's test?
Well, I don't really worry about that. Kim has been kind enough to let me know about the top, that we're in the top 20 and all that. But I have yet to respond to her. I have not said anything to the team. Why? Because it doesn't really matter. I'm driven. My fuel comes strictly from last year, because I know good and well that we were ready last year, and that we were hurt about not being invited to the NCAAs. We're not going to let anybody doubt again that, because we brought all the kids, all the players back. So it doesn't really matter. I think it matters where we end. Sylvia and I, as you know, go back a long way, and she and I both have had an opportunity to be what people would consider a Final Four team. Rutgers and North Carolina, Pat, I remember that year, and it was Connecticut, I think, was the other one. We were clearly a Final Four team then, and give credit where credit's due. And she stepped up and supported us, and I'm not surprised to hear her say that. And she has the right to, given that they have beaten Stanford, who also beat Connecticut. So if anybody's going to say that, I think that she would be the person that would know. But that comes to those of you who vote, and what's most important is that we still have to continue to prove ourselves. So I really appreciate this opportunity. I'm happy that we were tested like that. I'm disappointed and hurt that we lost, but I do recognize that was a very fine team that we were playing, and we're going to get better. We're really going to get better, and that's what's key. This is very early in the year.
Vivian, how would you describe Benijah's performance? 24 points, 24 rebounds.
That girl is incredible. Someone asked me, said, oh, well, if Benijah can get a double-double in this game, maybe she's a wooden watch. Anybody who's watching her play has to know that she is one of the nation's best players in the country, period, and they're going to find that out. She is, you know what's amazing, though? And I said this to you before. I've never coached a player that every day she brings it. It's like her last game. She must not ever have any regrets. She, every day in practice and for the game, she gives you everything that she possibly can. So I'm proud of her, and I'm happy for her. She's a great player, and I think that a lot of people got a chance to see the different things that she can do today.
Coach, it's amazing that in the long story career you and Sylvia both had, only played once before. Was it a conscious effort, or was it just never happened? I mean, one combined almost 1,900 games, and it's only twice you've played.
Sometimes it's really hard to play your friends, and it's strange. We know we follow each other's careers and we follow each other's teams, but yet it is strange. I think the one time that we did play, I think it was in Orlando or Florida. It was ABC, Disney World production, something like that. It was crazy, but I don't know. Oh, I mean, you know how we are. We always want to play people, but it looks like between the ACC and the Big Ten Challenge, we probably will. I don't know why. I can't tell you that.
Running games like that, I'm sure more of them would be good for the sport.
Well, you know what? You might talk to Sylvia. She and I. You know what she and I both talked about at the courtside was that um, both of us have overcome so much, and we've been all over the world together. We have a real appreciation for people and what's going on, that we realize. I don't think that we take it so dead serious as maybe a lot of people do, but we're working to get the best out of our players, and we're grateful for the opportunity that we have to influence the young players that we have. But we just haven't. There's been times, there's always been something that's come up, and I have a feeling that maybe it's just that friends don't want to necessarily play friends.
Any other questions?
Coach,
Yes?
last time when we spoke, it was after Davidson, you talked about the opportunity to get bench players in, find out what they're about, and be able to rely on them later. Today you had some foul trouble with some of your guys. What was that a payoff to you, that you were able to have a game like Davidson where you could find out who you can put in and who you can't, and you feel like it didn't seem like you lost momentum tonight? So.
No, you're right. But see, if you think about it, we have been since the WNIT, we have been playing at least 7 or 8 players anyway, and those are the players that were there. I'm looking for, and we do have them, and this is what our conversation was today. We do have within the other players that we have, like for example with Cynthia Hernandez and Natalie Parsons and Alex. We do have, and Sharita, they're getting better. But there are things that we were telling our other players that they needed to understand that I don't think they did. But I do believe they understand now when we talk about how strong they have to be with the ball and how aggressive we have to be defensively and the whole thing. So, and I did get a chance to play them, like you said. So right now, I'm hoping that we can use it now.
Coach, was it good for Sias's confidence that she had missed the free throws in regulation, but then came out and hit the 5 points in the last 20 seconds of overtime to get you guys another overtime, to get sort of that boost?
You know what? But Sias is a warrior. Man, that's why you got to have her. She just has such command. I think that we as a team, we've got to handle that pressure. We need to learn how to win as a group. I think that there were a number of things that could have been better with what patterns we were doing, that we were also communicating that. We also knew that whether or not we needed a 3 or whether or not we needed an attack, who needed to be taking that. And unfortunately, because it's early in the game, you might think, or in the year, you might think that we know who the people are that can and will deliver in those situations. I have a little bit of an idea, but I'm really not sure just yet. I'm really not sure. So hopefully in the next couple of games we'll know who's doing what and who's going to handle time, situation, score, and who's the money person, who's the one that can bring it through.
Any other questions for Coach?
Coach, it's a new game, it's a new start this Sunday. What are some things from tonight positively that you want to bring to the game this Sunday and the offense?
One, the defensive intensity, and we've got to rebound. Everybody has got to do a much better job of rebounding, and we didn't do that. Two, to be in control of the game the entire 40 minutes. Now, that doesn't mean that we have to slow it up, because we really, I think that you can probably see we want to run. And a lot of people question that. We really don't want to run. We want to run, and I think everybody knows that now. But the execution, and being able to recognize quickly, there's 6 fouls on this person, 5 fouls on this person, or the team fouls, and we need to do this and that to be able to stop the clock to score or whatever. So we just need to be a little bit more thorough with that. But hit foul shots, that would have helped a lot.